Hey everybody, welcome to Ultimate Survival Tips. I'm David. Over the past few years, many of you have asked me to take a look at a knife that's been around for a while, the Tom Brown Tracker. So today, we're going to take a quick look at this popular yet somewhat polarizing blade. Love it or hate it, in his eyes, Tom Brown set out to create his perfect wilderness survival knife with the idea of designing a one-tool option that could do almost anything he wanted in the backcountry. So today we'll see what the Tracker can do and discuss who this knife is for and who should look for a different blade. And before we're all done, we'll take a look at a few great alternatives to the Tracker that you might like. Okay, let's get started. The first thing anyone notices about the 1/4 inch thick, full tang, fixed blade Tracker is its unique design that looks like a combination of a heavy duty survival knife, pry bar, hatchet, and saw, and maybe a little bit of a splitting maul. Chopping is one of the things the Tom Brown Tracker does best. The 1/4 inch slab of 1095 carbon steel is shaped into a multi-purpose 6 1/4 inch blade that weighs in at a hefty 21 ounces. That's massive for a knife that measures nearly 12 inches or 30 centimeters from tip to butt. For a knife, the Tracker works well at splitting wood. Whether you're batoning or using the Tracker like a small hatchet, the 1/4 inch thick blade and steep angle of the lower saber grind mauls through wood grain easily to make kindling. The swooping leading edge is also capable of rough and medium cutting and slicing tasks with practice. Because the Tracker is so large and heavy, it's a bit clumsy at skinning and processing small game and fish, unless you've developed some skill with this knife. Moving back from the cutting edge, you'll find a small, inverted curve before you get to the secondary edge. This curved portion is sharpened and can be used as a 1/4 round to smooth arrows or things like make pins or traps. Next, toward the hand, we have 2 inches of straight edge. And for my purposes, this is the part of the knife that I use 90% of the time for tasks like feathering sticks, carving, or general cutting. Tom Brown also designed this part of the blade as a drawl knife to remove large slices of wood or debark branches. If you do this, you'll probably want to wear some leather gloves and be careful with your fingers, as they'll be on the saw teeth and close to the blade tip. Speaking of the tip, the strong, stout point of this knife is useful for drilling large holes like you'll need on a bow drill fireboard. To make the rest of your bow drill kit, you'll likely use the 2 inch straight edge portion of this blade close to the handle. On the spine, there's a wire break in front of the first tooth. This will come in very handy if you have trapping wire for snares. The massive teeth behind the wire break don't work efficiently when cutting through branches like a saw. They're meant mostly for creating notches for traps and tent pegs, which you can actually do with some skill in almost any other knife. The large thumb ramp and jimping along the spine provide a comfortable place for my thumb to rest while doing finer tasks. Because of the rounded edges on the thumb ramp and the rugged traction coating on the entire blade, you won't be able to strike a ferro rod except on those big teeth. You'll get good sparks, but you'll also put some gouges in your fire steel. 2 forward cutouts on the micarta handle lock the Tracker well into my hand. The carved rear handle acts as an anchor when I use it like a hatchet. A lanyard hole gives the option for added security, and the orange liners in the handle are a nice touch. Now throwing the Tracker is a different story. Once I got the feel for the dynamics of this knife, it threw like a dream, hitting the bullseye more often than not. And last but not least, Top provides a sturdy Kydex sheath with 2 metal belt clips designed for versatile carry. So who's the Tom Brown Tracker for? Being made by Top's Knives in the USA, this blade oozes with quality craftsmanship and is an excellent chopping and splitting tool. Tracker does well in some larger bushcraft tasks and could be a formidable last line of defense. And however impractical, I love how the Tracker performed as a throwing knife. So, if you think it looks cool and you want a highly specialized bushcraft blade that you're willing to invest the time in learning how to use, the Tracker may be your ticket. Now on the downside, the tracker only offers the user a 2-inch straight edge area where 90% of typical day-to-day backcountry cutting tasks will likely happen. And the tracker wouldn't be my first choice for processing game or for finer bushcrafting tasks. While the 1095 carbon steel is easy to sharpen to a razor's edge, the complex blade shape will be hard for beginners to sharpen, especially in the field. Now don't get me wrong, the tracker is a nearly indestructible and beautifully built blade, but you're going to pay the price in weight while carrying and using this knife. But if you're looking for an American-made beast of a backwoods survival knife with a distinctive look and ability to do a wide range of specialty tasks, the Tom Brown tracker might be for you. You can pick one up online for between $200 and $300 at topsknives.com at the time of this review. Just watch out for fake Chinese versions on Amazon. Now, if you're more of a practical knife purist, or you don't want the complexity of the tracker with all of its weight, but want a unique and useful wilderness survival knife, check out the Becker BK2 from K-Bar or the new Shamanese long knife from Craig Cottle and LT Wright Knives, the MSK1 Primitive from Ultimate Survival Tips, or if you love the distinctive design of the Tom Brown tracker but don't want the size and weight, check out the Tops Mini Tom Brown Tracker. We've just taken a look at the Tom Brown Tracker Wilderness Survival Knife. For your convenience, I've placed links to all the gear mentioned in the video description, and you can go over to kit.co/ultimate survival tips to see all of my recommended gear lists. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. And if you like what we're doing here at Ultimate Survival Tips, we've got a full lineup of new MSK1 survival knives and everyday carry gear that I designed over at ultimatesurvivaltips.com. Okay, this is David. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you on the other side. And remember, be prepared because you never know.
Welcome to Pandora, minion.